No, now we're live. Fantastic. All right, folks, look who I found, our fearless leaders, Aj and Max. How are you guys doing? Thanks so much for coming on. I know Perm is a bit of a party holiday, and that it is a big ask for you guys to be here, but this is the commitment that we have to the triple whale community to make sure we get a state of the whale out straight from the two co-founders. Well, yeah, let's just jump into it because I know you guys have Shabbos coming up, so we want to make sure that we get you home for that. So let's jump into it. Max, AJ, take it away.
Okay, great. So let's just give an update about what we're working on and where we're going. And then also we'll get into some like program ideas and how we've done some reflecting about the company, about where we are. I think it's going to be exciting. So first off, just in general, we're still working mainly on
Infrastructure
infrastructure
and team and building up the team.
infrastructure and building up the team, and I think it's very, very exciting. I think we have profiles coming pretty soon, an agency onboarding.
And guys, you can
these are going to come in the next 4 weeks.
You can change your credit card without talking to us pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Big deals, big moves here.
We're obviously working also on a lot of pixel projects, also supporting larger stores, headless.
We have a pretty massive announcement coming out soon. Big announcement coming soon.
Oh, we have a big announcement coming out.
Big announcement coming soon.
Can we say about what it is or no?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we can say. It's about the A.
Yeah, you could drop a little.
It's about the A.
Okay, that's all we'll say.
That's all we'll say right now. Yeah, it's exciting.
If you know, you know.
What's coming is basically we're building out like a very, very cool multi-threaded dev organization, which is going to fire on all cylinders, which we're very excited about. We're literally hiring like as fast as we can right now in terms of dev recruits.
Yeah.
And so that's very, very exciting. We have a lot that we want to build. Essentially, me and Max have a lot of just like, I think like 2 years, like well, not 2 years ago, maybe like a year ago when we started Triple Whale, right? We have a ton of ideas still in our head of things that we want to get done that we know, how valuable they'll be to anyone running a D2C brand. And we just haven't had, it takes time to build good dev, right? To build a good product.
Also, like when you build something, you got to take care of what you built. You can't jump to the next thing without, making sure that things being taken care of.
Yeah. So we're going to build teams around different problems that we see. Like, for instance, inventory is one of them, right? And we're going to build deep features in these sets to really help you guys do your jobs better. So I'm very excited. I think the pace in what we've built up until now is going to pale comparison to the pace that we're going to build in the next 3 months or 4 months. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting. If anyone has any specific features that they want us to build, drop them in Normal Nation or to Rob or to me. Like, there's a lot of things we're prioritizing, and your feedback also plays into that. And so that's the big news in terms of what we're building right now. In terms of, when we say large, part of the infrastructure that we're building right now is to support larger stores. Like, larger stores we're trying to support are going to be like as large as things like Warby Parker. That's the size of where Triple Whale will be able to scale up to.
500 million run rate and up.
500 million and under. Yeah, I think that's Nike can wait a couple more years before they come on, but like all the D2C Shopify brands, I think hopefully will be on pretty soon. So we're very, very excited about that. And I think also speed in general across the platform will get like if you're a smaller store, let's say doing $1 million or $5 million or $10 million, because we're going to be supporting the larger stores, it will force our infrastructure to grow in a way that will make everything, even the, I'd say LTV cohorting screens, those will be blazing fast as well. And so when you are in there, you want to make quick decision making, it will be there for you to make that. That's very exciting. And other, that's basically
it's a good update. Yeah.
It's basically the main update in terms of what we're holding with Dev and the company. Rabah, the amount of content you're posting on Twitter is pretty astonishing. I'm loving the meme game. Loving it.
Yeah, Tommy's top notch. Yeah, the team's firing on cylinders. We actually brought on a TikTok strategist, so we'll be hitting TikTok hard. We're currently looking for head of brand, head of content. So hit me up if you guys have those acumen and that skill set. And I'd also be remiss, we got some new digs. So the Columbus office got some new digs. We expanded there. The Jerusalem office is getting some even cooler expansion there. So there's some cool stuff going on behind the scenes as well, where the Jerusalem office is really pretty tidy. We'll have to do a little video there to show people off. That's a nice setup out there. Yeah.
We'll finish that.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. The Columbus.
And
office
Columbus
as
will
well.
get a little dig.
Yeah.
Hopefully Austin will get some new digs. You know?
Yeah,
we gotta
Austin
talk.
also.
We gotta talk offline, Robert.
Yes, there you go. Pressure them, people. Pressure them.
Okay, great. Okay, in terms of the firm ideas, I want to share some ideas. I think it comes back to actually some ideas about Triple Whale as well. So
Can you give people a little context what Perm
Yeah.
is that they don't
course.
know, just to
Of
catch
course.
people up?
Yeah. So Purim is essentially a holiday that took place. I think the year was maybe 1800, 2000. I mean, 2,000 years ago, around. It might be off. You can check on Wikipedia.
Ask Chaim.
Yeah. Ask Chaim exactly. Basically, between the first destruction of the first temple and the second temple, when Jews were exiled to around
Babylonia.
Babylonia, around that area. And basically, the story goes like this. Quickly, there was a king, wasn't evil, just a regular guy. And he had a advisor to the king, and the advisor basically wanted to kill all the Jews because he didn't like them. Basically, regular story that happens every time to time, the Jews. And through a miraculous set of very small turns and twists to the story, there's no actual thing out of the nature, but basically, there were two people that were consulting against the king, and then Mordecai, which is the hero, one of the heroes of the story, basically found out because he spoke a lot of languages. He told the king, and so all these small things ended up to the fact that this evil person basically lost, and the Jews ended up coming out on the other side just as well, without getting destroyed, which is good for us. So we're still here. And so, but the story basically is a way to it's a way to realize that sometimes miracles are in the details, or karma's in the details, right? Life. Sometimes Steve Jobs is the same type of actual. In his college, he gives what's the term?
The best. Yeah, it's the best. You can't connect the dots forward. You can only connect them backward. It's one of the best commencement speeches ever. I'll have Tommy post it. It's sensational.
That's a very biblical idea, actually. There's actually a point in the Bible where Moses asks to see God, and God says, "You can't see my front, but you can see my back." And so what's the meaning of that? And it's exactly that. You can't see God's plan forward. You can't see the universe's plan forward. You can only retroactively look back and sometimes get a glimpse of why things happen, right? Holocaust, no one knows why it happened. We can't get a glimpse of that, right? Even backwards. But some things you can get a glimpse of. And so Triple Whale, personally, on Max also, I'm sure, has a personal story as well, which you can share. But for me, has very much, Robert, there's a lot of people on the Triple Whale team that feel this way, right? Where a lot of life's experiences led up to this moment. And it obviously doesn't mean that this moment is going to be, world changing. Just because things led up to a special moment does not enforce that moment is, oh my gosh, right? But it does say that this moment is special in time. And so for me, I wanted to go back a little bit of the story, right? So I started entrepreneurship around 10 years ago, maybe even 10 years plus.
Sure.
And I came out of yeshiva and had no professional background. Yeshiva is where you study
college,
Jewish.
didn't
Didn't go to college. So you studied Jewish ancient law. Was there, saw Mark Zuckerberg doing very well on Facebook. I was like, I could do like that guy. I can start a social network. Literally did what Peter Thiel says not to do. I was like, I'm going to start a social network. I'm going to do a better job. It's like the lowest hanging fruit when you start an entrepreneurship. You take the problem that you feel, right? If you were into the business world, the only problem that you have is actually human problems, which are like social networks. Started that. Did not work out well. Did that for close to 7 years. I used to meet Max basically once a year. Max actually worked with me for a short time in that previous startup as well. Mo Rabba as well, which is just amazing how all these things come together.
It's incredible. Yvonne?
We shared an office.
So I'll get to Yvonne in a minute. And so
tiny digression here. Tiny digression. When we had lunch at the fancy place, you guys pointed out the little scrappy office that you guys met in, which was even more insane in Jerusalem.
Yeah,
anyways,
that's where I'm at. Yeah. So Max, I used to go call Max. He used to be like shoot, take that thing and shoot it. Take it outside. What is it? Kevin O'Leary says that, right?
Take it out back.
Take it out
out
back.
behind the back. Yeah.
And so I basically spent 7 years of my life doing something that went nowhere. I learned a ton, but it cost me a lot personally, right? Like when you're working and you tell your wife, like your wife is supporting you, and you're working entrepreneurship, not making a salary. You're like, hey, honey, don't worry, I'm gonna do well one day. It's gonna pay off. She's like, yeah, but I'm taking care of the kids and going to work at the same time.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Starts
rough.
to get a little hot,
Yeah.
a little hot.
Big ask.
Exactly. And so Ivan joined me after also running a gaming company. He's our third co-founder, and he was in debt at that time. He came and joined part-time at the time, then it became full-time. But we were working on that, going nowhere. He was working a crazy amount of time. So that happened, and then 3 years ago, basically closed down. And I remember meeting Max in a cafe while I was basically failing. I'm like, Max, you should take me and Ivan. I was basically begging anyone that would hire me and Ivan, because one thing I got, it's a good tip from one of my friends. At every stage in life, always look at the assets that you have. You never know which asset is what's going to take you to the next level. Yeah. But sometimes the thing you have in your hand, which was what I thought webbing was at the time, social network, was actually nothing. And the thing I actually had,
knowledge and the people,
the people I had, actually the people I had, which was Ivan. I was like, that is something I want to treasure, right? I know if I work with him enough time, I'm going to make it happen. So I was like looking for anyone that was willing to hire me and Ivan. And like, I called up some of my good friends that are running big companies. They're like, hey guys, like, you can talk to HR. I don't know, like, but I talked to Max. I'm like, Max, we make a good team. I'm a product guy. You're a business guy. Ivan's a developer. We can do something together. And so we started down that journey. And I actually joined Max after that doing e-com. Ivan went on.
What did I pay you to do?
To build. So we started building Triple at that point, but we actually dropped it. So we started building Triple for like 2 months. Yeah. And we dropped it at that time. And then I joined Max doing full-time ads. And Ivan went on. I basically kept Ivan on the books, just doing break-even projects for his salary. And then me and Max worked, and I planned on building an e-commerce company. I actually thought of like roll-ups. I was like, if I can just get down the playbook from Max, we do it together myself, right? I could just like copy paste the same playbook to different verticals, and I could build a huge company. Like, it's pretty simple. Take some product, get into Facebook ads, test it out. If you get the ROAS right, scale out things to the moon with influencers, and just rinse and repeat. There's a lot of tips that Max taught me. We should talk about these. Like, lead time for e-commerce brands is so important.
Huge.
Right?
Manufacturing
lead time, right? Like how long, and your COGS, right? The people think it has to, whatever, 30%, 20%, like 80% margin is good. Like, no, 95% margin is where it's at, right? You want to be there, because anything less than that, the amount you have to put into inventory to scale really hurts you very quickly.
Just got to be careful.
And so, yeah,
exactly.
There's a lot of good things.
What are you
No, I think that's a really prescient point that you guys are making, is that people don't realize the cash constraints that DTC has, because there's so many businesses that I've dealt with and friends that I've worked with that if you get the demand and the supply wrong, like, you're going to have all this demand, but then it withers on the vine because you don't have the supply, because it takes you 2 months to get from manufacturing to actual in your stores to shipping it to people. And during that time, you're not making any money. And then a lot of times, if you have a lot of SKUs, and then you can almost think of it like a basketball team or something, or a football team or whatever. Like, if your top players are out, it doesn't matter how good the coach is. Like, you're just gonna not. It's just absolutely kneecaps you. And so I think you're spot on there, where it's a lot more capital intensive than people realize.
This is why I needed a thing like Triple. Like, yep. Because I had started.
Yeah, go.
I cut it on your little.
No, we'll go back. It's all good.
I started an e-com like 10 years ago. 8 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was doing like arbitrage basically from
the purse story.
Back in the day, that was a crazy story.
Yeah, so Max, you can jump over your story right after. So basically,
swoop.
Yeah. And then I started.
Take that back.
All good.
He's on a roll. I'll let it go.
So I started an e-commerce brand. We're having some fun.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Fantastic. So basically I started an e-commerce brand called Spark and Lily. It was a cool e-commerce brand. You guys can still Google it and check it out. It was a macrame brand, and it failed. And it was painfully that it failed, because at that point, me and Max had it was hard for us to work together, because it's sort of like, I was working for Max in the e-commerce brand. I was building my own e-commerce brand. It wasn't so. It was a pretty tense time.
We also were working on Triple Web. There's probably a break for 6 months.
What do you mean?
We started building Triple Whale.
I mean, we stopped. We
Yeah,
started.
there's like a nice break.
It was
When did we
about
get back
2
into
years,
it?
like
No, it wasn't.
about 14 months ago, we started getting back into it, basically.
So it's a 6 month period where we didn't really do much of anything with it.
No, we've been together for 3 years. I think 2 months, about a year and a half break. All the Pills time Max was nothing on Triple Whale.
Right.
About a year and a half or more.
It was like sort of working on it though.
Barely
Yeah.
working. Barely working. It was rough. The getting Triple Whale to work wasn't easy. Okay, and so basically,
I bet I can find an
brand,
original agreement.
my
Maybe we'll
brand
find an original.
fell. My brand failed, and I was devastated at the time because I basically stopped working with Max. I did not have a salary, right? I kept Elon on
For how long?
for 3 years, basically on break-even salaries, just to be able to one of the projects we did failed at the same time. So I basically owed 180K to this person that I did a project with, or at least I wanted to pay him back. And Ivan had a good job offers at the time to go other places to be CTO. And I was just basically broke, moved to the US because I was in Israel. At the same time I started working, I moved to the US. So I was in a new country, broke, nothing was working. My e-commerce brand wasn't working. My, nothing was working. And then within a matter of like 4 months, but
Dude, we live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
The other thing, we live in the same exact. We lived in my in-laws' house. Remember that? Was
yeah, it was
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
it was a crazy time. And so,
No, my in-laws have a place down the street they rented there.
yeah, within about 3 months, basically, Triple Whale started working, and then it just started gaining momentum, and then
Madison stopped working.
Madison stopped working,
And I jumped in.
Indeed.
and everything worked. It's amazing. It's like an overnight, I don't know, success, but overnight success, 10 years in the making, right? It took like 10 years.
It's still early on.
It's still very early on, very 100%,
Yeah.
but like even to where we got right now is pretty amazing.
pretty amazing, yeah.
It's pretty amazing, and it hasn't been without a lot of pain. Let's put it that way. But leading up to somewhere amazing. We
Yeah.
hope it keeps on being amazing. Like Brad, for instance, another guy, our VP of engineering, which is really helping us scale our dev organization. He fell out of the sky. Like he worked in New York. You moved 6 months, like 7 months ago or a year ago to Columbus, and he ended up being in our synagogue, like, which was random. He could have gone to any other synagogue in the
Just so happened
town,
to be scaling up a dev team.
and just happened to be that good friend. It's just things are falling into place in a magical way. Like I remember, we went to fundraise from some Hasidic Jews in Lakewood, and that did not work. And then Max is like, why don't you just post on Twitter and ask if anyone wants to, like, this is our pre-seed round like 8 months ago. I'm like, yeah, I'll post on Twitter. I posted on Friday, and I deleted it immediately. I was like, I don't feel comfortable. That was it. Basically, the first 300K came in through that email and Twitter, and that was it. And then just the rest of the money came in very soon after, and then
We're off to the races.
we're still building. We're off to the races, but it's been exciting. So yeah, what I would say is the lesson of Purim is sometimes life makes sense retroactively. Right now, thank God, I'm in a place where the previous failures make sense in the current state of where we are. It doesn't guarantee success in any form, but it does feel like a good process, and so I'm thankful for it.
I couldn't agree more. Kind of just building off of what you guys are saying randomly. So Kevin, my head of community, will just kind of reach out to really interesting people. And he reached out to a guy, and somehow he ended up on my calendar last Friday. He didn't really want to take the meeting. I didn't really want to take the meeting, but we took the meeting anyways. And we ended up jamming, and he's probably going to come on as our director of product marketing. And it was 0% like any, and so to find, like, this was going to be my hardest person to find, and talk about like the Brad kind of effect of this guy just like landed in my lap of like, holy smoke. And we just start jamming. I'm just like, there's some sort of divine intervention or something going on here, because the pain that you guys felt really has paid it forward. And I kind of just want to tie it up in one of my favorite quotes of all time. So it goes like this: to each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for which could have been their finest hour. And I think a lot of the crushers on the team, everybody was just they were ready for this opportunity, and finally it unfolded, and now we're just really hitting on all cylinders with just the exec team is incredible. The leadership team is amazing. Our engineering squad is fantastic. Yvonne, CTO, is like a 3-brain guy. Brad is running like everybody is just incredible. CS team is sensational, and it's just really cool to see a lot of people unfold their wings where either they hadn't had the opportunity before, or like you and AJ, same here, where I've failed a lot too, where it's just so nice to run the same playbook but actually get some success, and then be supported by, again, you guys in the community have been just incredible, and we have the best users in the best community. So that's my little sappy hippy dippy.
Yeah, Rob,
Rob.
getting back to what you were saying a little bit, Elon Musk had this tweet the other day or yesterday, which is a great tweet. It's very, very true. Where he said like building services and goods for the community for people is deeply moral, right?
Yeah, it's
it's definitely true because it's godly, right? God creates. We're commanded to create. We by no means feel like we succeeded because we didn't yet, and we by no means take it for granted at all. On the contrary, we take it as a responsibility to continue building in the community. And how could we empower your lives to be better? And I think the Nietzsche says this also, right? He who has a why can almost live with any how, right? Yeah. And so, there's things on fire in the company every day. There's fires to put out every day. But I think the whole company around is aligned around how can we make entrepreneurs' lives easier? How can we make your life more successful? And okay, fine. So if things are not as easy as they can be, not as smooth as they are, because they're not, building a fast-growing company, things are going to break, things are going to be hard. We're all aligned about helping our customers. It's not about us. It's not about what we're building as a company. It's about what we can do for the community. And I think the whole company is very, very aligned on that. And so I think because it's top of mind, we're actually trying to find one of the internal discussions we have right now is trying to find our North Star metric that we're trying to move, right? Because like Triple Whale is a big time saver. We're also helping people scale. But then if we bring on a company, let's say like Warby Parker, one of those big sweetheart companies, and then we take credit for their scaling, that would be stupid because that company is scaling every month, right? You'd be like, oh, they joined Triple Whale and now they're making more revenue. Of course they're making more revenue. Every successful company that's growing in D2C hopefully should be making more revenue every month. And so Klaviyo, for instance, has an easy way of doing this, right? Because they have the revenue that's attributed back to them. Facebook also
or
have the revenue.
SMS
SMS, right? They have the revenue attributed back. Triple Whale is more of a reporting tool. Now we know we save you time. So internally, if you guys in the community have an idea of what metric Triple Whale should align around as a company for deriving value for the community, if anyone has ideas, let us know. And Triple Whale doesn't always make you successful, right? It gives you clarity. So in Madison Braids, we had a lot of clarity on what's not working. We did not necessarily fixed it, right? Like me and Max knew exactly, like if we focused on full-time on Madison, we needed to create a process. We had a great process with influencers, a great process with ads. We got that down to a science, but we did not have the inventory side, right? So we needed to innovate on products, which we did not do. And we knew, okay, if we focused on it full-time, we had a pipeline of innovative products coming in and getting them into the ad buying with the influencers. That would, honestly, by the way, in general, in D2C, I think that is the formula, right? Innovate on product, innovate on go-to-market, do that over and over, and you got a big company. That's basically everything else follows, right? Sprinkle some community in there, but basically it's that simple, right? You get a good product, you figure out the delivery mechanism to market. It's usually influencers and paid media for D2C, and that's it. That's the formula. And so, that's basically everything I have to say. Max, you want to say anything about dots connecting for you?
It's dots all over the place connecting, but
any stories?
Yeah, look, I got a ton of stories. Rob, we should do
we'll have you on the podcast, the one you left me on, the one you used to co-host with me, but you got too important, raising all this money, doing all the big boy things, let me slum around by myself as a host. But whatever. I'm not bitter.
You're good. You're doing way better than that,
Rob, I know it's because you do such a better job than Max. He just fired himself.
Exactly.
I like that. But to touch on your point, AJ, I don't even see it as taking credit, as more so like I think that DTC is this journey into the wilderness. And what we do is equip people with a compass and a map, and they can go find water, they can go find food, they can go hunt in a better, more efficient manner. And sometimes there's no game out there. And we tell them that, where it's like, hey, you can keep spending money, but sometimes you have a dog, sometimes you just have there's only so much lipstick you can put on a pig. And I think one of the things as entrepreneurs that it makes successful entrepreneurs is the ability to say, hey, you know what? It's hard to kill your own ideas. It's hard to kill your own babies, kind of thing. And sorry for the like really morbid metaphor, but it's hard. But at the same time, like life is about.
See how many brands couldn't make it because they looked at the triple. I'm joking.
Well, but the thing is, it's creative destruction. And so this crappy brand that you're giving up on frees you up now. So now that you're not doing Spark and Lily, look at this company you created with Max. Now that you're not doing Madison Braids, look at this. I mean, Triple Whale is way bigger than anything Madison could have been or Spark and Lily could have been. And not denigrating that. It's not that they were bad brands. It's just that creative destruction and being able to know when to pull that plug, when to cut that off, I think is a very valuable tool. And it's tough. But again, like you're not going to win at business all the time, and nor should you. Like if you're winning all the time, you're not taking enough risks. But what is important is that you're not putting good money behind bad, where it's like, hey, this isn't working. And just because I put X amount in the economics terms, it's called sunk costs. Like just because you put $1 million into this business and it's not working, if you didn't put $1 million into it, would you still put another $1 million behind it? If the answer is no, like it's irrelevant what you previously invested in it. And I think that's what Triple Whale does. Is it gives you a compass. It gives you a map. It gives you an opportunity to know that if the course you're going on is going to become profitable, is going to become successful. And if it's not, jump ship, kill it, and keep those resources to live another day and build something else that's going to be even better to change the world. Or anyways, I don't see it as in the credit form. I see it as more in that enablement, empowerment.
We need a North Star metric around it, but I still think we need one metric that we can move for our clients.
I think what's also extremely important from what you're saying, Ramba, is that when you kill something, right? When you're killing an idea, you're not going to go forth with that idea. Whatever that experience was, you're taking something with you to the next
100%.
The next thing.
100%.
Those connections and those experiences lead into something huge, right? Sometimes talking about dots connecting, right?
Yeah, listen, we get to see. We have a very we're blessed in Triple Whale to get to see the D2C ecosystem from like a bird's eye view.
Yep.
And oh boy, is there opportunity out there. There is so much opportunity to build like unbelievable brands. There's a lot of the gold rush has barely started in my mind. There's so much more to be accomplished. I just think like it's not drop shipping from AliExpress anymore.
No, it's gonna be tough.
It's not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
but I love it. We're pushing up against almost 30 minutes, guys. Do you want to wrap up? Say anything else? I don't think we'll take any questions this time. I don't see any in the chat, and I actually didn't grab any from CS. So there is something cool that I can show you. We have a little. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. A little kind of, I wouldn't call it a hack per se, but a ability to see your recharge in your summary screen. And so this is pretty cool. So we're still working on our recharge integration here, but we can actually get you. So Shopify does some fancy stuff where they're actually going to tag the recharge orders. So now you can see the first order subscriptions, your recurring orders, your totals, and then also your, since we have our fancy custom metric builder, you can get your percent of subscription sales. So that's pretty cool. I know people have been asking a lot for this, and it is in there now. Again, you won't have these really super in-depth recharge metrics that we're looking at. To be fair, recharge analytics are a bit of a dumpster fire. We love them. They're a fantastic platform, but their API and analytics is super challenging. So our engineers are still trying to get through it to get you the best data. But this is a nice little triage. So now you can see kind of your percent of subscription sales that are contributing to the total sales per subscription, recurring, and then your total. So a little bit of fun for you on a Friday to add that. We're working hard for you guys. Don't worry.
That'll work for any subscription offer, like any subscription. It's not just right?
Yeah. So a Bold, whoever your subscription provider is, it will magically tag it. Yes, this is straight from Shopify. So when you're Shopify treats it, this is a function of their new API. And so if your subscription platform is using the new Shopify subscription API, it will be tagged and you'll see that. So we'll drop some content on how to add that, but that's been pretty nice to be able to see all of your subscription revenue, because that's something that a lot of DTC businesses should be leaning into heavily, is how can you get people in some sort of membership or subscription product, because that'll really help even out the peaks and valleys in terms of the revenue. Another really cool thing, our data team has actually gotten me access to kind of the higher level stuff. So we'll be breaking out some really cool data in terms of spend, in terms of spend per channel. So there's...
Are we going to be doing like a weekly
data dump?
Yeah. So on Fridays, once I need to make sure the data, so we have some conversion, or since we have, so we're in 63 countries, which is a kind of cool fact. So we have 63 countries, but across some of these countries, people don't necessarily always have the currency. We have some currency conversion stuff where before I put out the data, I need to make sure it's triple checked and it's super proper. But to AJ's point, we'll have a whale roundup on Fridays, kind of like a Ron Burgundy little Anchorman style, and we'll go through kind of how spend is shifted, CPMs, and then even more so, what's really cool once...
Something cool is like, brands know, oh, people are shifting more to TikTok, or people are shifting more to Snap. It's super valuable.
And they are.
I know as a brand,
They are.
you would love it. They are?
Yes. From the preliminary data, it's incredible. Here's what's even trippier. And here's actually kind of another fun fact for you guys. How much spend do you think we tracked last year?
Us? Last year?
Through Triple. Yeah.
$3 billion.
No.
Oh, Jesus, man. That's a big boy. Yeah, you took my thunder. I shouldn't have never had you guess. 1.74 billion. I mean, that's still an enormous number, but it's 3 billion, Max. What do you think we're doing here? Jeez, killing me over here. I thought you were going to lowball me.
We probably were there, right?
One more time. We're tracking right now up. We still have 13 more days in the quarter. We're about a little over 430 million in total ad spend for the quarter to date. So that would be a little bit more than about 1.6, 1.7 billion still. But the shift in spend is really interesting. Where, yeah.
Robert, that spends down because
yes, spend is down. So again, I have to triple check the total metrics, but I'm confident in that 174. But the what's interesting is TikTok has exploded, and again, I have to asterisk these metrics because I have to triple check.
There's whatever. I'm gonna go into data. There's substance of data here because there's different currencies. Yeah, and like it's
that's where yes.
Robert, the numbers you did, they're excluding dollar. They're only including dollars.
No. We are doing currency conversions. And so we're converting any currency outside of USD to USD to include it in the aggregate. But again, that's why I have to triple check things because there's some fuzziness there. But the too long didn't read is that
we were tracking as of 2 months ago more than $10 billion of sales across the platform annually.
Yes.
But
that's got to be more
right now, Rabba?
I haven't checked on conversion value. I just looked at spend last year. And you got to remember, we were tiny until basically the last quarter. But the last quarter is also the biggest, most expensive quarter. So again, but these are a grain of salt kind of things because I have to give you the triple check. But what's really interesting is that TikTok has exploded in terms of quarter over quarter growth, but it's still a drop in the bucket compared to Google and Facebook, which is really fascinating. Like orders of magnitude less in terms of spend, which was really, really interesting for me to see where it's absolutely growing, but it's still a baby.
Investing, and you could invest in ByteDance, but you can't. But if you could have, it would be a good investment, right? Because that's
not bad. TikTok doesn't even make them money, or it makes them money, but it's not even their biggest revenue driver, which is insanity. They make I forget what it's called, but something. 60% of the revenue comes from a different app. It's some Chinese app, but. It's insanity. Anyways, we're in the data weeds, but we have some really cool stuff for you. And then kind of putting a bow on that, we will also start cohorting everyone in terms of vertical, AOV, and amount of spend. To AJ's point, like so you can know if is it me? Am I really doing terrible, or is it actually a macro level benchmark exactly, or is it a macro level thing? So lots of really, really cool stuff coming down the pike with all the data that we're sitting over. And obviously it's all anonymized. There's no identifying stuff. This is in the aggregate, so it's not like we're looking there. But really, really cool stuff coming. So that is very, very soon. Okay, we popped 30 minutes. I think we should wrap it up. AJ, Max, any more parting words, some wisdoms, anything like that?
No, let's keep on building.
Thank you, guys.
If you, first of all, a couple of things. If any of you are great marketers and you're looking for positions, we're looking to build a triple whale enabler team, which will sit across functions, both to help with product, also to help with success, right?
Yep.
Like the Logans and the Roberts of the world. If you guys are out there, please come and work with us. Okay.
Yes, please.
A lot happening here. I will say Logan had this. Brad had a question in his mind. He's like, but wait, if they know how to make money, why would they come to triple whale? Like these people, every single person like that can open up their own agency that people are looking for. And the answer is, first of all, the triple whale opportunity is just massive. So just come.
Yes.
It's the best opportunity you can get in the world. Second of all, anyone working at triple whale, if you ever want to go into building agencies in the future, there will be triple whale agencies that all they do is they manage triple whale for companies. That's the future. The future is going to be basically everything in triple whale, and you deploy your media through here. You'll basically be running your whole business through here.
I would add a third point. Agency life's hard, man. I ran my own shop. Like working with people that are they're just alpha egos, and you have agency life's hard. So being able to just come in and crunch data and it's almost like you're the drunk uncle that you watch the kids, but you get to go home versus actually being the parent. And when the kid poops or you got to change the diaper or bite somebody at school, you got to deal with it. So the agency life there's some pros to it, but man, it can be psychologically challenging at times. And at Triple Whale, plus you get to work with geniuses like Max and AJ, and then we'd love to have you on my team as well. So yeah, tons of opportunity there.
Yeah. So I would say that's number one. Number two is if you guys have any requests, features, anything we can do to make your life easier, any data requests from Raba, like anything over there, please let us know. We're always here to help. So in general, if you just want to hear your challenges and what's challenging you guys, I would love to hear also. I know sometimes we meet clients, we're like, what can we build? Like everything's perfect. We don't need anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't expect you guys to come up with the features, but if you have pain points that you're hurting, no matter if you don't think they're related to triple whale, but if they're in your business, I mean, you could share also problems outside of triple whale, but I don't know if we'll be able to solve them for you or e-com. But if you have issues with
talk to somebody,
if you issues with e-com specifically, like anything, whether it's problems with financing or anything that might not be related to our core business that we may be able to help with, like just let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have some connects kind of all around. And so if there is anything you can think of us as not only a platform, but as a friend, and reach out if you need any advice, or we can almost always connect you. One of our head of partnerships, Mo Mernick, is incredibly connected. Max, AJ are incredibly connected. So if you guys do need anything, feel free to reach out. Narwhal Nation, DM us, what have you. Like I said, we want to empower you guys to live better, more fulfilling lives. And if that is by raising capital or if that's by adding a new feature that'll help your business, we're here for you.
Well said. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Boom. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll see everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to Whale Mail. Follow us on the Twitters. And then we're actually going to be at Geek Out. So DM me if you're going to be there. Love to connect. And I think that's all we got.
That's all we got.
Thanks, Rob.
All right. Thanks, AJ. Thanks, Max. Have a great Shabbos. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.